This is the oldest temple ever found, 11,000 years old, older than writing, older than farming, older than the wheel. And the people who built it buried it by hand, on purpose. Nobody knows why. Everything you have been told about how civilization began puts temples last. After the farms, after the villages, once people had time to spare, this one came first. That's one of 3 things in this country that should not exist. There are cities carved beneath these plains, deep enough to hide thousands of people behind doors of rolling stone. And some of them have still not been fully mapped. And on a sealed border in the Far East stands a city that once held 100,000 people and 100 churches. It has been empty for 700 years. The only sound left there is the wind. Every empire that owned this land was certain it would last. Every one of them is gone. So this film asks one question, and by the end, you'll answer it yourself. When the empires are gone, what stays? Southeastern Turkey. Under a low hill that farmers plowed for generations, the oldest monument on Earth was waiting. Göbekli Tepe. Rings of carved stone pillars, some of them 5 meters tall, raised 11,000 years ago. And they are not columns. Look closely and you find arms carved down their sides, hands meeting at a belt. They are figures, faceless, 5 meters tall, standing in a circle, facing inward. To understand that date, this was built 7,000 years before the pyramids, 6,000 years before Stonehenge, by people who had no writing, no metal, no wheel, and no farms. Some of these stones weigh 16 tons. They were quarried, shaped, moved, and raised by people working with flint, without a wheel, without a draft animal, without a single domesticated crop to feed the work. An archaeologist kneels at a pillar, brushing soil from a carved fox, a picture made before humanity learned to write a single word. And it forced a hard question. Every textbook said farming came first, then villages, then temples, once people had spare time to believe in something. Göbekli Tepe is a temple built by hunter-gatherers. The order is reversed. But the strangest part is how it ended. When they were finished with it, the builders filled it in, by hand, basket by basket, until the whole thing disappeared under a hill. Not a destruction, a closing, as if the place had done its work and had to be sealed away for whoever came next. The oldest temple on Earth was not abandoned. It was put to rest. 11,000 years later, we are the ones it was sealed for. And what has been dug is a fraction of what is there. Ground surveys suggest most of the site is still under the hill, untouched, waiting for methods that haven't been invented yet. "400 kilometers west, the same instinct produced the opposite gesture. Instead of burying a temple, people buried themselves." Cappadocia. Wind and volcanoes carved this plateau into columns of soft rock, a landscape that looks like it belongs to another planet. The stone is volcanic ash, compacted over millions of years into something soft enough to cut with hand tools, and it hardens when it meets the air. Carve a room in the morning, and by evening the walls have set. At dawn, hundreds of balloons rise over it in silence. In one of the baskets, a pilot who has flown this valley 1,000 times still slows at the same ridge, because some views refuse to become routine. But the postcard is only the surface. In Göbekli and the valleys around it, people carved their houses, their churches, and their storerooms straight into the rock. Some of those churches still hold their frescoes, saints painted directly onto the rock face, in ochre and lapis, their eyes scratched away by later centuries that did not want to be looked at. And then they kept going down. Beneath these fields lie entire underground cities, 8 levels deep, with kitchens, chapels, stables, wells, and ventilation shafts cut 100 meters through solid stone. Room enough for thousands of people. When armies crossed the plateau, whole towns went underground and rolled a stone door shut behind them in the dark. A grandmother in Göbekli was born inside one of these rock houses. Her family's walls have no builder, only carvers. Families could stay down there for weeks at a time. The ventilation shafts were cut so precisely that the smoke of a cooking fire dispersed before it ever reached the surface. Because a column of smoke above a field would have told an army exactly where to dig. Above ground, Cappadocia looks like another planet. Below ground, it proves it was always stubbornly human. On the southwest coast, the cliffs are full of doors. This was Lycia. Temple facades carved high into the rock faces above the water. Tombs, cut where no one could easily reach them. There are more than 1,000 of them scattered along this coastline, cut across 5 centuries. And the height was never about the view. The Lycians believed winged creatures came to carry the dead upward, so they cut their tombs as high as they could climb to give the departed a head start. On this coast, the dead were buried closer to the sky than the living ever built. Some of the facades have carved doors that were never meant to open. False doors for a journey nobody makes on foot. which is one way for a civilization to be remembered, there is another. At the far eastern edge of the country, on a plateau above two canyons, stands the third thing that should not exist. Ani. 1,000 years ago, this was one of the largest cities in the world, the capital of a medieval Armenian kingdom, a hinge on the Silk Road, home to 100,000 people. They called it the city of 100 churches. At its height, travelers ranked it beside Constantinople, Baghdad, and Cairo. Caravans came through here loaded with silk and spice, and paid for the privilege. Its cathedral was finished in the year 1001. The architect who built it was later called to Constantinople to repair the dome of Hagia Sophia. Then in 1064, the city was taken and sacked. Then the earthquakes came, then the Mongols, and then the trade routes shifted north, and the reason for the city's existence simply evaporated. Its greatness faded almost at once. But the stone kept the memory of how fragile prosperity can be. Today, the wind moves through the ruins and leaves only silence. There's no town nearby, no cafe, no souvenir stand. Just grass, stone, and a border. Walk out across the plateau, and the grass is full of foundations. You are not walking beside the city. You are walking on its streets. It has been empty for 700 years. Cathedrals stand open to the sky. Frescoes fade in the rain. Kestrels nest in the dome. And the river below the walls is now a sealed border. On the far bank lies Armenia, whose capital this was. Close enough to see, impossible to reach. A caretaker walks the plateau alone each evening. He locks nothing. There is nothing left to lock. Nothing here has been rebuilt. Nothing has been made comfortable for visitors. The site was left exactly as the centuries handed it over. Every empire in this film left something behind. Ani is what behind looks like. "400 kilometers south of that silence, another city of stone looks out over a plain. And this one is still full of people. Mardin. Its sandstone changes color with the hour. Honey at noon, amber at dusk. The streets descend in cascade toward Mesopotamia, the plain where farming began. Nothing here has been rebuilt in concrete. Every wall is the same stone, cut from the hill the city stands on, which is why the whole place changes color at once. On a rooftop at evening, women set out tea facing that horizon. Mosques, churches, and monasteries have shared these streets for centuries. Muslim, Syriac Christian, Armenian, Yazidi, stacked on the same hillside. And there is a language, here you were taught, is dead, not endangered, dead. In the villages around Mardin, people still speak Aramaic, the language of Jesus, not only in a liturgy, in shops, in arguments, in the price of tomatoes. And the Saffron Monastery, standing since the 5th century, still sings its prayers in it. A language the rest of the world buried, still being used to ask what's for dinner. North of Mardin, the land climbs onto a plateau higher than most European peaks, and there is a sea up there. Lake Van, salty, alkaline, ringed by mountains. On an island in the middle stands a 1,000-year-old Armenian church, its walls carved with biblical scenes. It was finished in the 10th century, and its outer walls carry Adam and Eve, Jonah and the whale, David and Goliath, a Bible in stone cut for people who could not read one. The water is so caustic that villagers once used it to wash clothes without soap. The lake has no outlet. Water comes down from the mountains and leaves only by evaporation, so everything the rivers ever carried into it is still in there, concentrated, century after century. And almost nothing can live in it. One fish can. The pearl mullet. Every spring, in their millions, they leave the alkaline lake and fight their way up the freshwater rivers to spawn, leaping the rapids like salmon, then return to the one sea no other fish can survive. A fisherman waits at the river mouth for that 1 week. The same week his father waited. The rest of the year, he mends nets he barely uses. An inland sea that allows exactly one guest, and the guest comes back every year. West now, all the way to the Aegean. Before you see this place, pick a number. What year do you think a European city first had street lighting, working sewers, and public baths? Hold whatever you chose. Ephesus. Tens of thousands of people lived here. Markets, thermal baths, libraries, and a theater that seated 24,000. Its library held 12,000 scrolls, and fresh water came down from the hills through clay pipes, into fountains, into private houses. Whatever number you picked, this city beat it by more than 1,000 years. Ephesus had a sewage system, street lighting, and public baths. Things most of Europe would not see again until the 19th century. A restorer kneels at the library of Celsus, brushing dust from marble carved 20 centuries ago, cleaning a bookshelf that outlived its books. And it died for a reason nobody could have fought. Ephesus was a port. The river silted up. The harbor filled. The sea pulled back. Today, the coastline is 5 kilometers away, and the docks are a field. It had everything. It still ended up empty. An hour inland, the white appears from kilometers away, like snow that refuses the summer. Pamukkale, the cotton castle. Thermal springs have been laying down calcium here for thousands of years, building white terraces filled with warm, mineral blue water. The water surface is at around 35 degrees, saturated with dissolved limestone. As it cools and meets the air, the mineral falls out of the water and settles, and the hillside gains another layer. And the mountain is still being built. Divert the water, and the white steps go gray and die. Return it, and they grow again, a millimeter of stone at a time. It isn't a monument. It's a construction site that has been running for 10,000 years. Made not by water, by patience. And then the land rises one last time at the very edge of the map. Mount Ararat. 5,000 meters, snow-covered most of the year, visible from 100 kilometers away. Its silhouette gives the whole east its sense of scale. It is not one mountain, but two, a vast cone and a smaller peak beside it, joined at the shoulder. And it is a volcano. The last eruption was in 1840, and it took a monastery and a village with it. For thousands of years, it has carried the same story, that this is where the Ark came to rest. And for most of history, nobody climbed it. Local tradition held that the summit did not belong to the living. The first recorded ascent was in 1829, and when the climber came back down, most people refused to believe him. And there is one more thing about this mountain. It stands inside Türkiye, but it is the national symbol of Armenia, printed on its coat of arms. An entire country looks at it every day across a closed border and cannot walk to it. A shepherd moves his flock across the lower slopes, as his family has for as long as anyone remembers. Living every day under 5,000 meters of legend he never thinks to look up at. Every journey in this country ends the same way, with the land having the last word. When the empires are gone, what stays? The builders of Göbekli Tepe are 11,000 years gone. Their temple waited for us underground. Rome is gone. Its marble still drains the rain at Ephesus. The Lycians are gone. Their doors are still cut into the cliffs. The Armenian kingdom of Ani is gone. Its cathedral still stands open to the sky. What stays is never the empire. It's the stone and the people still living beside it. The women on the Mardin rooftop, the fisherman waiting for his 1 week, the shepherd under the holy mountain. None of them plan to be remembered this way. The ones who built to last are the ones we lost. What survived was smaller and stranger, and mostly accidental. Empires don't really die here. They just change names. If you want to keep seeing the world beyond the postcards, subscribe and come with us on the next journey.